Hello and welcome to Marketplace Africa. I'm Robin Kono, here on the streets of central Johannesburg. On the show this week, investing in Africa, who's doing it and what more needs to be done. We begin with a market that's primed for takeoff, providing internet access to the millions of Africans who aren't online. Major internet companies are eyeing Africa, as Christian Purefoy reports from Nigeria for our In Focus segment.
Nigeria's computer geeks, armed with just their mobile phones, are hoping to save hundreds of lives every year from collapsing buildings across Lagos.
There's a lot of weight because of the tilt, so you can see the cracks.
Seun Akinfolarin and his colleagues are embracing new technology. Their new mobile application allows people to take a photo of a potentially dangerous building, and the date and GPS coordinates will be automatically uploaded to the internet for the government's attention.
Before, we couldn't use that because people weren't really savvy with their mobile phone. But now you find out that everybody browses on their phone, they send SMSs, they're comfortable with it. So that's the reason why we're using it. It's exciting.
Nigeria has amongst the highest percentage of internet users among African countries, and a new generation of Nigerian developers is emerging, supported by some big international names like Microsoft and Google.
Africa is responsible for 14% of the world's population, only 2% of the internet users. So we need to be investing here to be able to actually bring more people online, create more content so that things actually do take off in that continent.
Abasiyama Idareset, an online marketer, has made the internet his business. An advertising consultant, Idareset says sites like Facebook and Google have opened up a host of low-cost money-making opportunities for small businesses.
So many things are being put online, including events. Someone has a show coming up, someone has a church event coming up, he wants people to attend the church service, he wants people to come to his event, he puts that online. You know, people are selling, like small businesses, people looking to get to distribute clothes, people looking to distribute food during office hours.
But the main challenge for growth is that internet costs are too expensive for most Nigerians, with some paying as much as $500 a month for barely broadband access of 512 kilobits a second. Seun Akinfolarin's Habitat 2011 initiative is a non-profit one, and no buildings have yet been torn down. But, says one of the directors of the initiative, this is just the beginning.
Yes, it might seem far-fetched here in Africa that there's a sense that, okay, there's a gap between the virtual world and the real world, but that gap is closing. Right? You have a whole generation of very young, internet savvy, I won't use them kids, but just young people who understand it.
Now it's just a matter of getting that virtual world knowledge into the hands of the real world. Christian Purefoy, CNN, Lagos, Nigeria.
The last frontier indeed. To give you some sense of internet penetration here in Africa, let's take a look at the numbers. Now, between 2000 and 2008, 30 million more Africans logged on to the internet. That's according to the International Telecommunication Union. Now, that actually is not that much if you compare the amount of new mobile phone users over the same time period, which was 230 million more users. So a lot more work to be done on that front. Now, let's change tack and tell you what's coming up after the break. I'm going to speak to Kofi Annan. Now, he was the former UN Secretary General, and he's going to talk to me about giving advice to African leaders. Why didn't you guys implement some of these recommendations when you had the power, and why would anybody listen to you now when you have no power?